In the last video, we created an opt-in form and we linked that opt-in form to a button on our website or our web page. Now in this video, we are going to link our opt-in form to our HulkMessenger or our email marketing platform. Now it's very important for you to know that email marketing is still one of the best ways by which you can market your business, and we are going to be having a full course on email marketing as we progress in this series. But you need to understand that when you have a business or you are trying to build a business, one of the best things you want to do is that you want to build an email list. It is very, very important and critical to your business profitability and your business existence. We are going to break all of that down later. Now, there are several email marketing platforms that you can use. We have MailChimp, we have MailChimp, we have GetResponse, we have ConvertKit, and so many of them. There are so many you can use. But for a lot of people, when you want to use all these platforms, the pricing can be killing and exhausting. So if you, for instance, want to use MailChimp, you can see that the moment you start having a lot of subscribers, you start paying a lot of money per month. And depending, okay, you can see how many contacts do you have. If you have 500 contacts, you start paying like $11 per month. Now, let's see if you have like 5,000 contacts, because what we are going to be doing this year is that you're going to be building an email list of about 5,000 contacts. That's what we are going to be doing. That's one of the things we are going to focus on. So if you have like 5,000 contacts, it means that you start paying $59 per month. If you convert that at the current exchange rate of around 590, that means you are going to be paying that much per month. The same thing goes for most other email platforms that you see out there. Now, these email platforms are very, very good. They are very, very good. They are excellent. But the moment you start having a lot of subscribers, you discover that the overhead per month starts growing. Either you use or you don't use, you start paying per month. And that was one of the reasons why we built our own email marketing platform, where you can send your own emails from your own server. And that is one of the key reasons why I insist that you get a VPS server, so that whatever you pay for your VPS server per month is the same thing that you are going to use to send your emails without any problems. If you are using a shared hosting, you may not be able to do this. Then if you are using a provider that limits your email sending per month or per week or per day or per hour, you will discover also that you may not be able to use your server to do what you want. So if you want to avoid all these fees, all these exorbitant fees, then you can just go for a provider you can just go for a software like HulkMessenger that you install on your server and then you run for your server. Now, for the purpose of this video, we are going to be integrating this with our opt-in form, the opt-in form that we did earlier. We are going to be integrating this with that opt-in form, and that's what we are going to use. So the first thing you want to do is that you want to get the HulkMessenger plugin for Elementor, and you want to install that plugin. So if you don't have that plugin, either you download it from the HulkMessenger site or you request for the plugin and then you install the HulkMessenger plugin for Elementor. So I'm just going to go to plugins. By now you should be familiar with how to use plugins, and I'm going to add a new plugin, and I'm going to navigate to where I'm going to upload a plugin. I'm going to choose a file. I'm going to go into my Elementor folder where I keep everything related to Elementor, and I'm going to pick the HulkMessenger plugin. So once I pick the HulkMessenger plugin, I am going to install the HulkMessenger plugin. This should take just a very, it should not take time because it's a very light software. And then once that plugin has been installed, I want to activate that plugin. And I just activate. Good. So I now have the HulkMessenger plugin here, and the HulkMessenger plugin is activated. The next thing is I want to go back to my pop-up. Remember, we did a pop-up earlier. I want to go back to that pop-up. And when I get to that pop-up, I want to pick that pop-up and I want to edit that pop-up with Elementor. So remember, we did an opt-in pop-up, and I'm going to just edit that opt-in pop-up with Elementor. Now, once I edit that opt-in pop-up with Elementor, what I want to do is that I want to change how that form submits. Remember, right now we are focused on getting things to work. We are not working on the beauty of the website or the aesthetics or anything like that. We just want to learn how to make things work. And once we understand how things work, we can now come back to make things pretty and beautiful. So I'm back in the pop-up that we created earlier, and what I want to do now is I want to hook up HulkMessenger into this pop-up. So what I do is that I want to go to the edit, and when I click to edit the form, you see that the form is edited here. Now the first thing I want to do here is I want to just add a new item here. I'm just going to add a new item here, and I'm going to label this under the label. I'm going to just call it a token, and then I'm going to go to advanced. I'm going to change the ID here to token, and that's pretty much all I want to do in that place. I come back to content and I change the type of the text to hidden. Now what I'm doing now is I'm integrating with Elementor. I don't want this token to show here. I want it to just be there silently. So I'm going to make it hidden by selecting hidden. And once I do that, although it is there, it is now silent. Now, once I have done this, the next thing I want to do is I want to come down here and I want to look for actions after submit. So what you are trying to say is, what I just did now was I closed this form fields. I want to look for actions after submit. So I want to now control what happens when someone fills this form and submits or clicks the submit button. What will happen? So I go to actions after submit, and what I want to do is I want to clear everything that is there as a default. So I clear the collect forms and I clear the email, and then I add my own. The first thing I want to add is I want to add a redirect. Now the redirect will control after the form is submitted, what happens next. Okay, I want to redirect people to my thank you page. So I'm going to control that with that. And then I add another action and I say, okay, after the form has, okay, let me add the HulkMessenger first, then I do the direct. So I want to say after this form has been submitted, first integrate HulkMessenger and submit the data to HulkMessenger. Second, do a redirect after the form has been submitted. So those are the two things I want to achieve. So I want to do HulkMessenger and I want to do redirect. Now, once I do, let me close this. Once I choose the two actions that I want, I can just minimize the action after submit, and then you would see that I now have two additional things here. I have HulkMessenger is added and I have redirect is added. So let's work with redirect first. So I want to say, when this form has been submitted, then take me to another part of my website where I have a thank you message. So the thank you message I want to be on my website at website design magic.click/thank you. Now we have not created this thank you page yet. We are going to do that later. So you can redirect anywhere. You can decide to redirect to yahoo.com. You can decide to redirect anywhere. But right now we are going to redirect to website design magic.thank you. So we are going to create a new page that is going to be our thank you page later. Now, once I have added that, the next thing I want to do is I want to work on HulkMessenger. So the first thing I want to do with HulkMessenger is I want to find out where my HulkMessenger is installed on my site. So you can just go to your homepage on HulkMessenger and just copy the URL. I'm using a demo here, so I'm just going to copy this URL. That's going to be the URL. Once you see this default page, that's going to be the URL of your HulkMessenger. So wherever your HulkMessenger is installed, just copy and put that URL here. And then whenever you copy and put the URL there, make sure that there is no trailing slash at the front of the URL. So if there's a trailing slash, just make sure that you remove whatever is in front and just the URL alone. If you put a slash or anything in front of that URL, it will not work. Next, you want to log into your HulkMessenger. and you want to copy the information for your campaigns. So you log into your URL. Now this is a demo. You do this on your real site. And then when you log into your HulkMessenger, the next thing you want to do is you want to go to your campaigns. So you go to your campaigns and then you look at your campaigns and you copy your public key. Now your public key is your campaign ID. So I'm just going to copy the public key for this, my second campaign, my demo second campaign, and I'm going to copy the public key. And then you come into your Elementor, and then under the campaign ID, you want to put in your public key there. The next thing you want to do is you want to grab your email field ID and your name field ID. So you go back to buttons, and then you go back to your form fields now. You go back to your form fields and then just click on name. When you click on name, it will bring out the content of name. Go to advanced, and you can see the ID for name is name. And then what is the ID for email? Just click on email and go to advanced. The ID for email is email. So you are just going to use that default and say under HulkMessenger, I have put in my URL, I've put in my campaign ID. The ID for email is email, and then the ID for name is name. And once you have done that setting, you can just go ahead and update your form. So I'm just going to go ahead and do an update. Where do you want to display your templates? I actually want to display my template on the entire site. So I'm just going to everywhere, let the template be available everywhere. Next, under triggers, I want to display on click, and then I go next, and then I save and close. Once I allow that save to complete, so you see it's complete once it is done, and then I can just go back to create my thank you page. So I exit this section and I go back and I go to pages, and let me just quickly create a thank you page. So I add a new page and then I give the page a name. Let me just say thank you. No space, because when I was creating that, I didn't add any space. So I do thank you, and then I just publish immediately. I click on publish again, and then you see the URL. You can see the URL here will now be websitedesignmagic.com, and then you have thank you. I edit this page with Elementor just to make it a little bit, just to make it look good. And then when I come here, it has this default. You can see we have home, thank you, but I'm just going to choose settings, and I'm going to edit with Elementor Canvas so that I have a clear design. So I edit with Elementor Canvas and it clears off all of that design. I had a section. Okay, I add a section, and then I go to this section, I edit the section. Can always click these 6 icons here to edit the section, and then under the height, I want to fit to screen. So whatever the height of the screen is, let it just use that height for me. And then I go to the background. That's under style. I go to the background type. I choose a gradient background. I'm going to use 2 colors. Let me use black. Black is 00000. So let me just go for black. I can just drag until I have black. That's a full black. And then for the second color, background. For the second color, I'm going to choose a dark blue. I'm going to choose a dark blue. Okay, and then that's the second color. And I can just decide to adjust the location a little bit so that it looks good. And then I go back to the main menu, and then I add a heading. So I just drag the heading text here, and then I adjust the heading text. Thank you for subscribing. And then I center that. I go to the style for that. I change the color to white so that it is visible. White is usually FFFF. I go to white so that it's visible. And then I go to the title again. I change my typography I'm going to leave this default font, but I'm going to just reduce the size a little bit, and then I leave the weight as it is. I'm going to transform. Let me use capital or uppercase. So I'm going to now reduce the size a little bit more, that it is looking good. And then I'm going to add a little more description. Now this is just a demo, so I'm going to go back to the 9 icons here, and then I just add a text. Now you use a text when you are writing a lot of content. If what you are typing is going to be much and you want to maybe style it or something, you use a text editor. Oh, I made an error here. Let me just quickly correct it. I'm just going to edit this. I'm inside here, I edit, and then I go to content. Thank you for subscribing. Subscribe. Okay, so I go back here, and then I add a text editor this time around, and I just drop it under that place, and then I can go to content, and then I can now add something here as well. So let me just add a little bit of content here as well, and just go thank you for joining my mentorship, and email has just been sent to you. If you do not find this email in your regular inbox, please check your spam slash or your folder. So when you are writing a lot of text, you should use the text editor. And then I'm going to just make this to be in the center as well. I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to also give it, I'm going to give it like an off-white color, so that it's just slightly different. Let me just go for that color, and then I'm going to try to give it a padding. So I'm going to give it a right and left padding. For the right padding, I'm going to just go right so that it fits into that box well as 100, and then for the left padding, I want to probably just use the same setting. So let me just keep it at 80, and then use 80. So for left and right padding, I have 80, and that is looking good. So all I want to do now is I want to update, and once I update, I want to test what I have done. So to test what I have done, I wait for this update to complete, and then I can navigate to the front page of my website, website design magic.click. And when I get to the front page of my website, what I want to do now, if you look at the dashboard here, you would see that there is no subscriber here right now. There's no subscriber here right now. So I want to now do, I click here, the pop-up comes up, and then I can just do, what is your name? My name is Shugo. And then what is your email? My email is shugo@example.com. And when I click subscribe, see what happens. The form was sent, and then it is redirected automatically to the thank you page where you have this. And if you look and refresh in your HulkMessenger, you should have 1 subscriber. If you have done everything correctly, there should be a new subscriber in your HulkMessenger, and that is how to integrate HulkMessenger. So with this, you have done a redirect, you have integrated your HulkMessenger, and then you can just take it up from this point and build something cool for yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.